Hello, so we are going to again continue with our discussion of your chapter 4. We stopped last time at your cash flow, no? So, ano yung topic na huling diniscuss natin last time? It is actually the inflow and outflow of cash, how the decrease and increases in your current asset section and current liability section affects your cash. Now, after this, we'll have already the problems. No? Okay. So, we need to go back to the statement that financial statements are interrelated. That's why we 'di ba, yung ating, sample would be or rather discussion would be, ano na nga ba? O 'di ba, income statement, current asset, current liability, ano 'to? 'Di ba, operating. Tapos long-term asset, long-term liability, tas stockholders equity. O ito 'yan, financing, 'di ba? O kaya nga sabi interrelated. And I keep on reminding you of the relationship. Kasi it's really important knowing the why, diba? Para kahit anong problem isosolve nyo, it will be easier for you to relate. And ano sabi dito, if you would like to interpret your statement of cash flow, since your cash flow ties the balance sheet and the income statement, diba? Ayan, ties the balance sheet and the income statement because as shown in this diagram. Other concern would be how it is being prepared. Kaya ito, pinakita sa inyo that the increase-decrease would actually be, under the indirect method, would actually be affecting the presentation of your statement of cash flow. And anong sabi dito? Na yung beginning at ending balance sa balance sheet mo, yun dapat yung end figure sa statement of cash flow. Okay. Ito daw yung formula for you to be able to compute for operating cash flow. Ito yung ginamit na natin, 'di ba, sa financial statement analysis. Yung isa, parehas lang naman yan. Earnings before interest and taxes. Yan, yung net operating profit after tax. No? Ito lang yan. Plus depreciation. So, parehas lang din naman. We're going to compute operating cash flow as well. Ito sample, no? Showing, ba't ganun? Ba't kailangan pa ipakita yung EBIT at saka yung sa... Kasi dito, they prefer it rather than agad-agad net income yung pinapakita mo, sinasama yung sa tax. Kasi diba taxes, biases, decision. Kaya yun lang yung preferred presentation. How about pre-cash flow? At saka para saan ba kasi yung pre-cash flow? Ba't kailangan nating computein? Ito kasi yan, no? Amount of, ito yung crucial na term, available. Siyempre, kung ako yung nagpapautang sa'yo bilang kung ikaw yung company, pambayad mo yan. O ako naman yung owner, pwedeng pang dividend ito. O, diba? Yan. At, tingnan niyo yung binabawas. Net fixed asset investment, net current asset investment. Ay, bakit yan? I-demand ang asset, diba? Yan. Ano to? Diba supply? Ang term nga ay operating cash flow. Ano man matira? Di free na. Kasi you start with supply, you deduct your demand. Okay. So, long-term at saka short-term demand. Diba? Long-term saka short-term. Okay. Ito nanggaling doon sa sample. Meron naman kayong copy nitong PowerPoint. So, ito yung nanggaling doon sa FS. No? Tingnan natin yung FS. Kasi, kinumpute yung, kita nyo, net fixed asset investment. Changes. Diba? changes yung ayan o, change in net fixed asset, change in current asset. Okay? Ba't in-add yung depreciation? Oo nga, ba't nga ba ina-add? Diba? Tapos, pagdating naman dito sa change in current asset, dinideduct yung accrual. Kasi itong net change in current asset investment, working capital yan eh. No? Ito namang sa net fixed asset investment ang depreciation, hindi naman ikaw talaga nagkaroon ng cash outflow dyan eh. Kaya ganun na idina-add back siya. Okay? Mag-sample tayo na lang later, pero ito yung galing dyan sa FS na pinakita sa PowerPoint nyo. Focus tayo sa interpretation. Ano sabi dito? May 22 ka. Ano ibig sabihin ng 22? Na sapat yung operating cash flow mo na magsuporta doon sa demand ng fixed asset mo at sa demand ng current net working capital mo. Yun. O dahil sapat, uunahin mo syempreng bayaran yung creditor. No? When you are planning on where to put my cash, then you can earmark already for the creditor. And then after that, you can go to considering giving cash dividend as part of your plan if you have already computed for your free cash flow. That's a good thing if you know your free cash flow. Alam mo, at what level am I going to set yung dividend after paying my creditor. Kasi sila ang priority mo, kaya nga tinawag na residual yung owner, diba? Okay. Now, I have given you the PowerPoint on financial planning for you to be able to relate to the other finance process, no? And dito, sinabi sa inyo na ang financial planning, there are two aspects, cash and profit. Sa profit planning kasi, ito yung gumagawa kayo ng, di ba, may budget, operating budget. Di ba, master budget, two sets. Operating at saka yung financial. Ito dahil finance, so ang gagawin natin, unahin natin yung financial. O yun, so yung cash planning ang gagawin natin. Ito. No? Tapos, yung holistic view sa profit planning, ipapakita natin yung projected financial statement. Hindi yung details ng production, direct materials, hindi yon, no? Yung as a whole na. Okay. And for the strategic financial plan, anong gagamitin natin dito? Ang gagamitin nyo dito yung pag-compute ng AFN or ano pa ibang tawag nyo dyan? EFN. Ano pa ibang tawag nyo dyan? Plug. Ano pa ibang tawag nyo dyan? Variable. Bakit? Nababago kasi depende doon sa mga assumption mo, tsaka depende doon sa yung level of demand. Kasi di ba meron tayong sensitivity analysis. O kaya ganun, mababago at mababago yan. Okay? Binigay naman sa inyo yung timeline. It can be 2 to 10 years. Kasi habang tumatagal yung panahon, mas riskier plus yung reliability or yung accuracy ng projections mo would be high level of uncertainty. Would have a high level of uncertainty. Kasi kita nyo ang production cycle mo, yun ang basis mo sa sales mo. Or rather, yung production cycle mo, ang base nito yung sales mo. Okay, so ano daw ang issues that you have to address with your strategic financial plan, your fixed asset investment, yung sa capital budgeting decision. If you have research and development, marketing and product development, and dito, yung sa capital structure, the balance between long-term debt and your stockholders' equity, and where are you going to get your funds. Okay? And this is merely a reminder that in your operating financial plan, you are going to use sales forecast, and your output will be projected financial statement. No? Ito yung pinakita din natin sa finance process. It so happened that this one is the much yung pinakita ay more of yung what's the key, no? Ano yung pinaka-key? Ayan, sales forecast, production plan, projected income statement. You can now prepare a cash budget, no? After the income statement, the balance sheet. Paano na nga ba? Bakit nga ba ganun? Paano nga related ang FS, 'di ba? Pag alam mo na yung sales mo, alam mo na din yung sa AR. Pag alam mo na yung cost of sales, alam mo na yung sa inventory, tsaka sa AP. Pag alam mo na yung operating expense, o di alam mo na yung sa accrual, 'di ba? O kaya gano'n na you will be able to prepare already the balance. At saka, lahat yan may cash aspect. O kaya magagawa mo din yung iyong cash budget. And take note na nakahiwalay yung sa fixed asset. Bakit? Kasi you are looking at long-term plan. So, titingnan mo yung strategic plan. Ito yung depende sa color, yung information needed, tsaka yung output. Okay, siyempre output na itong projected, tsaka yung budget. Ano yung sinasabi dito? This is related to the finance process that I had given you. Ay, ito, from production plan, direct labor, overhead, operating expense. Then you can now have the projected FS. Ito yung nasa diagram previously. Although you are given here a sample as a person, as an individual, how do you do things? O dapat daw meron kayong 1-year goal, intermediate goal, tsaka long-term goal. Okay? O paano nga ba ginagawa yung cash budget? O ito na-introduce na dun sa unang PowerPoint natin. Pangalawa yung sa finance process. O paano na nga ba yung cash budget? Ayan. Dahil kailangan natin ng sales forecast din sa cash budget, we have to know ilan yung magiging cash inflow natin. Yung cash sales at saka collection. O binanggit din sa inyo ano yung external basis ng forecast tsaka internal basis ng forecast. Pag external, you have to look at the economic indicators, no? What's happening in your market. The internal, kasi you have to look at yung your client, kasi titingnan mo yung sa what you did in the past, no? Although may zero-based budgeting, pero sa sales, you have to still determine your history para you can relate it to what would be the effect with your forecast. And how does it look like? Kita nyo, inflow, outflow, net cash flow. Dito, tingnan nyo, minimum. Ayan minimum. Okay, bilugan ko. Kasi binanggit ko na yan doon sa una, di ba? Namatay ng kuryente kahapon. Minimum. Minimum. Ayan. And kinukompute yan, hindi basta gusto lang. Just take a look, merong nakalagay na required. Kasi lagi kang umuutang, di ba? Ano ba kasi gusto daw natin? Leverage. Kaya kita nyo walang negosyanteng, walang utang. Halos lahat may utang kasi kung gusto mong mas maraming return in the long run, hindi dapat lahat nanggagaling sa'yo. Magnegosyo ka na ang pondo mo galing sa iba. Yan yung paggawa ng cash flow. Okay, mag-solve na lang tayo. But this is merely a sample para lang ma-familiarize kayo. Kita nyo, class, cash sales, 20%, tapos yung schedule ng collection para ma-compute yung cash receipt. So, ganito din yung gagawin natin, yung sa inflow. And dito naman sa outflow, titingnan nyo din ano yung policy nila sa pag-estimate ng purchases, tapos yung payment period. Ito 70-30 eh. Diba? Ito, ang basis ng purchases nila yung sales, which is 70%. Ang pagbayad nila 10%, and yung 90% 70 at yung 90% ay mababayaran after a month 70%, and after 2 months 20%. Okay? So ito yung di-determine mo lahat ng iyong isa manggagaling tong rent sa operating expenses. Titingnan mo yung schedule of payment sa tax, sa interest, sa dividend, sa principal. Okay. So, this is how your cash budget would be presented. No? And what I would like you to note, ito tingnan nyo, yung excess cash nilagay sa marketable security. Bakit? Kasi diba sabi nga natin, cash is the most unproductive asset. So, pag yung ending cash mo more than the minimum that you like, invest. Kasi, wala namang mangyayari doon sa cash mo kung hawak mo lang. O inilagay mo lang sa savings mo. O kahit nilagay mo nga sa checking account mo, 1% lang yung 2 to 3% kapag time deposit. Kaliit, diba? O, kaya yun. Yan. Kita nyo, invest sa marketable security. And, ito, let's take a look at the interpretation. Sabi dito, evaluating the cash budget. Yung amount ng cash natin, ito, tig to 25. Ang marketable security mo, kasi nung ka lang may excess, October 22. Tapos yung notes payable natin, 76 at saka 41. Nagsabihin, ay, kulang yung pera mo. Paano gagawin mo? Mangungutang ka uli, pambayad sa utang mo. Gusto nyo. Kasi 25 lang, o 76, 25, tapos 41. Anong gusto nyo? Kita nyo, the deficit in November and December need to be financed. Anong gusto mo? Uutang ka sa pambayad mo ng utang. So, kaya kaya mahirap talaga pagka may mga deficit, 'di ba? Ito naman laging may sample tayo sa personal finance, no? Ito sweldo, tas ano yung ginagastos mo. Actually, dapat nga daw part ng expenses mo yung savings mo para in the long run, meron kang dinudukot. Yan. Ang major concern mo dito is coping with uncertainty kasi nagpo-forecast ka nga. Wala namang sigurado dun. Kaya, ayan, meron silang pessimistic, most likely, at saka optimistic. No? You have 3 scenarios pag nagpo-forecast. Kaya mas madalas, ginagamit dito ay, gamit kang computer program. I-manual mo lahat computation mo dyan. Yun lang yung sinasabi na dapat ang budget mo, hindi static. It should be flexible. Di ba may flexible naman doon sa budgeting nyo? O, yan. So, ito yung sa scenario nyo. Pessimistic. Alam nyo naman yung pessimist. Ako tama kababa. Yung medyo within your normal range at saka yung optimistic. Yung using the scenario analysis. Okay? Okay, paano yung sa projected financial statement? Kita nyo, sinasabi na naman sales forecast. At saka dapat kailangan mo daw kahit papano yung FS mo last period. At saka yung mga assumption mo. Ano yung assumption na sinasabi mo? Nako, crucial dyan yung internal growth rate at saka sustainable growth rate. Kasi, yung pag-set mo ng growth, yung target, yung increase mo sa sale ang makaka-apekto sa lahat. Diba? Kaya yun. Crucial yan. Okay? Yung key assumption. Yung KPI, Key Performance Indicator. FS to. Okay? O, eto na. Percent of sales method daw. Ano na yung ginamit natin? O, review tayo para pag nag-compute tayo mamaya. Asset less liability less equity. Diba? Demand less supply. Percent of sales. Oy. O, sa ratio analysis, meron ba tong mga to? Meron naman. Kasi itong asset divide by sale, reciprocal to ng ano nyo, di ba? Capital intensity ratio o financial leverage. O yung asset turnover. Asset turnover, kasi ayan no, sales divide by asset. Ito, puro internal to, di ba? Ano yung sabi natin last time? Itong dalawa na to, internal. O di ang internal dyan, yung sa current liability, tapos dito profit. Kung profit divide by sales, that is profit margin or return on sales. Diba? O, percent of sales daw. O, di multiply mo naman na ngayon para malaman mo yung peso value. Pero it should dapat changes yan. Ito, sales in time 1, hindi sa time 0. Yan, makukuha mo na ngayon yung AFN. Additional funds needed. Ay, may nalimutan ako din eh. Kasi dapat ay yung sa payout. Dapat yung payout na i-consider parang hindi ko ata na ilagay dun sa una yan. Kasi yung profit mo mababawasan pa yan eh. Diba? Ano yun? Kasi sabi nga dito, what would be retained? Ang profit natin naghahati ng the firm tsaka the owner. Ito yung sa reinvestment mo. Ito yung ito yung flowback. Ito yung payout. Babawas natin yung payout dito ha. Pina-compute yung profit. Anyway, we'll have just a sample. Tingnan ko lang kung ano yung tinasabi dito. Ang sabi dito, by computing the ratios, you'll be able to look into the trend and you'd be given a basis. Ganito nyo, best way to generate a more realistic pro forma income statement is to segment. Kita nyo behavior ang gusto fixed at saka variable. Kasi mas nakikita mo yung level of control mo. Kasi the higher the controllability, the higher the influence, the more that you'll have an impact and the more that you can expect. Now, your level of expectation will be almost the same with the actual event. Kaya nga, nag-start ka doon sa behavior, doon sa variable. Kasi, ang napakahirap kasi you don't know what to expect. With variable kasi component, you know what to expect. Diba? Yung judgmental approach, ano yan? Yung judgmental approach class, siya yung FS method. Okay? Yung judgmental. Siya yung pinaka-balancing figure mo. Siya yung pinaka-flag. Okay? Mag-compute na lang tayo para makarelate kayo. Ano daw yung major weakness ng approach na to? Parang nire-replicate mo lang yung, di ba? Kaya nga may zero-based budgeting. Dahil, hayaan mo na pass is pass. So, dalawang approach ang pwede mong gamitin. Nasa sa'yo yun. Diba? Yung zero-base o hindi. Kasi nga yun yung isa sa mga weakness. By using zero-based budgeting, you are eliminating this weakness, replicating the past financial performance. Kasi siyempre you cannot oversimplify kasi yung assumption mo just for you to be able to make your calculations. Okay, we are done with your chapter 4 concept, of which what are the most important concept that we have to take a look at. Operating cash flow, your free cash flow. Operating cash flow would be supply galing sa pansarili mong kakayahan kasi ano ba ang dapat sa buhay. Ikaw ay kaya mong pangalagaan ang pansarili mong pangangailangan. Ito si operating cash flow. At base doon sa kung ano ang meron ka, sosobra ba doon sa pangangailangan mo? Kaya may free cash flow. Nang sa ganun, makapagbayad ka ng utang mo at makapagbigay ka sa mga nagtiwala sa iyong mamuhunan. O yan yung sa free cash flow. Ngayon, para mas maganda yung level ng pera mo sa mga darating na panahon, matuto kang magplano sa panandalian at pangmatagalang panahon. Sa panandalian, ang pinag-uusapan lang natin dyan, magbabudget ka. No? Kung yung binigay sa'yo na allowance, i-budget mo. At kasama dyan na magtatabi ka. Kasama sa expense mo, sa plano mo, magtabi ka. Sabi nga, dapat daw, pero ang hirap sa totoo lang, yung 20% itatabi mo as savings. Ay, mahirap yan. Pero yun ang sinasabi ng mga financial guru. No? And your long-term or strategic plan, sa atin, sa model natin dito, yun yung nagko-compute tayo ng additional funds needed kasi piniprepare mo yung sarili mo, no? Sa worst, kaya you have your strategic financial plan. At anong sabi dito? Ayan, kita nyo nga, cash budget para alam mo kung may surplus or shortages and ano yung approaches for you to be able to project or prepare pro forma FS, percent of sales or judgmental. Ito past percentage relationship or judgmental approach. Okay, then we have to evaluate the output of your projected FS. Although sinabi sa atin na ang weakness niya ay mahirap na kung ano-anong nakaraan, i-assume mo na ngayon pa din kasi ang pangarap mo ay to be a better individual. Okay, so later we're going to have our computation. So thank you and good day.